Oh, it ends right here. Or wait, where did it end? Oh, so it's right over there.
Okay. So yeah, and you don't want it right by the electrical box because
No.
that froze and broke already.
Yeah, it did. So it was awful.
So well.
So I didn't know if you could cut it like somewhere back here and then reroute it. You thinking?
Yeah,
Just do it over here.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe over here we could drill a hole over there, but we'll drill it the right way.
Okay, yeah.
Drill it on a slope so it'll drain down.
Out, yeah, instead of into the house.
Yeah, because that one's
tilted the wrong way.
Yeah. So we'll straighten that out and get it away from this electrical panel. Okay. So I want to put it over here. Say about 6 feet. Feet. Okay, about that height up. There's actually a bunch of wires right there. I'm gonna have to pull those out before I can drill a hole in there in that plate. Okay, so 6 feet over, I cleared the wires out down there. We're gonna be putting in this faucet right here. It's 8 inches. See, it says right there, 8-inch anti-siphon hydrant. Okay, so with this, it has to be pitched so that it has to be pitched down out of the house. So a lot of people make their mistake by putting the bubble back that way when you install. This bubble's supposed to be inside the house, so when you shut this off, it actually shuts off back in there. There's a little rubber washer that shuts off, and this tube drains in the winter. And it's important to take your garden hose off of this at the end of the year, because if you leave the garden hose on, it will you just won't be able to drain, and it'll freeze and split. So this copper is actually pretty thin, so it has to be, it's got to have a really good bubble going back. So I'm going to go the same height as that other one was, so I'm actually going to drill a hole a little higher. So that's 3 inches. I'm going to put this at 4 inches. Give it a better... Actually, you could even do 3 inches. Just got to drill it uphill, so that's level right there. So there's actually 2 plates here that had to go through. That's why I use such a long blade. But you can see it's pitched up into the house. And that's what you need. So I'm just going to cut this line off back here and I'll move it over, get it away from the electrical panel, shoot it into there, and then bring up, you know, once it comes up this beam, I gotta put a long enough piece up here to, you know, if I put too short of a piece, this won't be pitched. So make sure that piece is long enough. It's not cool to solder these without taking them apart, because there's a spring-loaded washer in there that's pushing up against this brass fitting. And if you heat that up, it's going to heat that washer up. So we're going to take this apart, pull the guts out of it, put it on there, you know, pack some putty in there so the bugs and stuff don't want to get in there around here. We shove it in, screw it to the wall, then we'll go in there and connect everything all good. So. I put my drill in the house because it's raining. It's been raining like crazy around here. 2019. This is on there. Okay. Let's see. Be careful you don't strip anything. Well, it's best to back this off a little bit before you take it apart. Make sure it's in the middle, not all the way closed, not all the way open. Whenever you take something like this apart. Okay. Oh, this is reverse thread. This one's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. They changed them. This is still righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. This is a vacuum breaker, so if the water shuts off inside the house, it won't suck the water up from the hose. It'll just spill out here so it don't contaminate the water supply. It's real important to take these apart, take the hose off in the winter time. So that's a little packing for the stem. And then, you know, this stuff right here, you don't want to, oh, that's not spring loaded. Okay, so, yeah, you don't want to heat that up and melt that stuff. It should normally be right there. You know, so when you shut it off, it shuts off way back here, and then this tube drains out, and it don't freeze all up on you. I think it's safe to get the drill now. Okay, now that's got good pitch on it, so. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is measure this on where this plate's setting on top of the foundation wall here. It's like 2.5 inches roughly. So this pipe's going to be running across the joist. We're going to want that to be a little bit higher, so that it pitch, you know, we keep with our pitch. So it's 2.5. We're gonna make it like 3 inches. this, a lot of times, I don't know if they do it anymore. I haven't seen it in a while, but they chrome plate that pipe, and the chrome plating gets inside of there, so you really have to brush that good. This one's not like that. This is just brass, so I'm not going to have to sand it with a wire brush for, you know, 3 or 4 minutes to really get that chrome plating off of the inside where the fitting's going to go. See. There we go. I'm going to pull it away from this beam so when I heat it with the torch it doesn't cause problems with the wood getting burnt. So like 5 inches will work on that. I see a lot of guys commenting about using this reaming tool on the copper. You know, stick it in there, and after you cut it, it leaves a little lip in there. But I'm not really sure about that. I mean, if people say that like a vortex builds up in there, and like a current will build up in there because it's swirling, it'll build up like an electrical current and rot the pipe out. And I think that's just like engineers or something, hydraulics in shops or something. I don't do that. Maybe they could take it up with their shop foreman or something and bring it up about how you know, the labor costs are going to be outrageous because you got to ream all the pipes and stuff. But this is what it looks like after you cut it and you put a fitting in it. And this is what PEX looks like. You see how the PEX restricts the flow? I mean, are you going to ream that out? Is it going to create a vortex in there and rot the pipes out? I think it's just a lot of stuff. You do it a little bit too long or whatever, or since it's on such a slope, I want to get it right up to the beam, so you know, I can twist it, make a little swing joint there, and just make sure it's straight right here. And then we're good to go. So this is where I'm going to put it. See, so it's not straight with that. I had to swing it over to get it to, but it's still got really good pitch on it. So I'm going to take that all apart, sand it, and flux it real good. And then cut this pipe back here away from that electrical box. And, you know, hook up a couple 3/4 inch 90s and then reduce it down to 1/2 inch whenever it works out that way with the piping that I have. I'm going to reuse a bunch of that stuff, but I'm going to unsolder that and just cut that off, throw that out, put it in the scrap. I got this stuff all set up here. You don't need a ton of flux on here. I brushed all that, brushed all this. You can see it's got pitch on it going outside. This is on there loose so that I could get the right angle on there. So I don't know if the camera's gonna work out, but so this is basically what we got. Let's make sure this is gonna work. Yeah, so we're good there. And then this we'll turn it so you can reach it a little easier. It's actually better to have it like this for draining purposes. Have that up so that you can, that little hole in there, when you turn this cap out, it'll drain from here to there. It'll drain all that once you shut this off. So when you turn this, water will come spraying up. So if I turn it like this, it'll spray out sideways. It'll be easier to get it in a bucket like that. So I'm going to aim that thing straight. And then I'm going to use map gas for this, because it heats up a lot faster than propane. And this torch head, I like this because you can get it up into attics and stuff and crawl spaces. You have to bring a big tank and hose and all that stuff and try to wrestle through insulation or dirt and stuff. But you have to take these off when you're not using it because a little bit of gas seems to leak out of these. And the fire doesn't go out sometimes. It'll be just a little flame. You won't even see it. And it'll just drain the tank, or it could start a fire. I luckily haven't had that problem yet, but I've grabbed it and it was hot. And I've gone back in the truck and it's been drained. So it's pretty dangerous. So you'll notice when I heat this stuff up. Let me get this off of here. You'll notice when I heat this stuff up, I take the torch and I'll heat it up on this side, and I'm trying to focus the flame right here, the deepest part where the pipe ends, where the pipe goes in. That's where I'm going to focus the fire, so I can get that inside the furthest setting in there as far as it goes in, where it seats into the hub. And you don't want to get it too hot. You know, there's neoprene parts in there. Starts to get a little green hue to it when it's ready. That's all you need, just about a 1/2 inch on a 1/2 inch fitting. That's it. See, I didn't have to put that second tap on there because it dripped a little bit. I just wiped it off, but you only need a little bit in there as long as you clean it up real good. And, so we want to protect this valve. See, there's a little bit of drip. You don't need a lot of solder, just a little bit. As long as you clean it real good, and, you know, sand the pipe and wire brush the fitting and put, you know, even layer of flux in there. It should go really good for you. I'm just using this stuff here. That's good stuff. I haven't had any troubles with it. And then the solder here. So just want to straighten this up and let me see. I'm going to put this up like that. So when this lever crosses the pipe, it's off. When it goes with the pipe, it's on. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Okay, so there we go. I'll take this thing apart in case it wants to keep running. But it's just so convenient to be able to turn this thing in any direction and still hold the tank. You know, you can just get in so many places. The igniter that goes on there just gets in the way. So I'll wipe all this flux off of here so the pipe doesn't turn green once it sets for a while. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have left of the 1/2-inch copper, so unless I want to go out to the truck. So I'm just going to you know, put this 1/2-inch to 3/4 inch reducing coupling on there, and sand that again because I probably got my fingerprints on it playing around, taking it apart and messing with it. Okay, I already sanded this and fluxed it. So there we go. Now we just start running 3/4 inch over there. I guess back here would probably be good. Get it away from that electrical box. I'll just go back like 4 feet. I try to save these for when I really need them because they're so expensive. So if these fit in there, I like to use those. This isn't gonna work right here. I have a smaller pair of these, I just didn't bring them in. Too many tools. So yeah, here's another issue, these wires. So I don't really want to be soldering too close to those. You gotta really have practice with a torch before you can do that. If I didn't have practice, I would put like some insulation, some type of fireproof insulation there, or go back further. But I'm pretty good with the torch, so I'm just gonna do it. Oh, wait a minute. I got a feeling there's gonna be some water in there. Ooh. Okay. Probably not the best thing for it.